Hey guys, Chris and Maricos here with you for another video. Today we're talking about minimal pairs. Minimal pairs are when we have two sounds that are difficult to pronounce and we have some words that we can compare these two sounds with. So in a minimal pairs list, you can find words that have exactly the same letters and only a one-letter difference changes the meaning of the word. And this also means a difference in pronunciation. The two sounds that we're going to be talking about today are ah and So the first sound, ah, this sound requires us to open our mouths very wide. Ah. I usually tell people that this sound is like when you go to the dentist and you need to open your mouth really wide so he can see in there. And you say, ah. Or another way to think of the sound is that this sound is like the sound a sheep makes. Bah. Okay, enough with the fun and games. In this sound, we really have a mix of two different sounds. We have a sound ah and a sound eh, like the second sound that we're talking about in this video. So when we have a word with this sound, it sounds like ah. There are two sounds, ah, and the result of these two sounds together comes out like this. Ah. Let's look at some example words. Bad, bad, had, axe, axe. You can see that when I say these words, my mouth opens very wide, my tongue is in the bottom of my mouth, and my jaw drops. Axe, axe. Now let's talk about the second sound. Eh. In this sound, my tongue also stays in the bottom of my mouth, but my mouth doesn't open as wide, and my jaw doesn't drop as much. Eh. I like to think of this sound as if there's a very, very, very soft H sound after it. So something like eh. Let's look at some example words. Bed, bed, head, X. Great, so I really hope you hear the difference between these two sounds. Now let's compare these two sounds. Bad, bed, had, head, axe, X. If you're still having trouble pronouncing these sounds, just remember that the sound ah, the first sound in this video, is really, really annoying. Try to make it sound more annoying if you can't get it right. The sound eh, the second sound from this video, is a little softer. Let's look at some more example words. And, end, pan, pen, sad, said, sat, set, bag, beg, jam, gem. Another great way to practice pronouncing these sounds is to say them in a sentence. So I'm going to give you some example sentences using these two sounds. The sentences that I give you might not completely make sense, but remember that we're trying to practice pronunciation. Bats as pets aren't best in flats. Again, bats as pets aren't best in flats. Next example. Set a mat on the sand and get a tan. Set a mat on the sand and get a tan. Next. Ted tampered a tad in Brad's bread and jam. Ted tampered a tad in Brad's bread and jam. Another example. Matt never had less capital than several checks ago. Matt never had less capital than several checks ago. Lassie headed back to Peg and Allen for 10 apples. Lassie headed back to Peg and Allen for 10 apples. When I'm having trouble with pronunciation when I'm learning other languages, I like to look at myself in the mirror and watch my mouth to make sure that I'm pronouncing the sounds correctly. Wow, Chris, you're a weirdo. Hey, it helps. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to press like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment under the video. Until next time, Chris and Maricos.